Good afternoon guys and welcome to day 25 of Shocktober of my 31-day movie review challenge. 25, we've only got 6 left. Sorry, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, yeah, 6. Just make sure. So the one for today is actually my last requested movie and the rest have actually been inserted by myself as I got 25 requested movies, so that's them done. So this one is the 1973 movie Don't Look Now, and this was requested by the Trash Picture Show, a fellow Irish person. So thanks buddy for that, and thanks to everyone else that has requested a movie on that list. It's been really good reviewing your choices. Some I've loved, some I've liked, a couple I've hated. Not many though, to be fair, so it's been quite a good mixed bag. So I'll give you some information about this before we kick off with synopsis and viewpoint. This is actually taken from a screenplay by Daphne du Maurier. It was, sorry, a book by Daphne du Maurier. It was adapted to a screenplay by Alan Scott and Chris Bryant, and it was directed by Nicholas Roeg. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The main two stars of this one are Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland, as most people know, who play a married couple called John and Laura Baxter. So this movie I've seen before. This is a movie that my husband nagged me to watch a lot when we first got together. This is one he really enjoys. I used to have this thing quite a few years ago where I didn't really like to watch old movies. And funnily enough, there are a lot of older movies that I adore, but for some reason making me sit down and watch an old movie was difficult. So I hadn't seen this one. So I did watch it, I did enjoy it. Aspects of it I wasn't that keen on. My memory is, as you know, not good. So apart from the death of their daughter at the beginning of the movie, I didn't remember much else, and a little person in a red coat. That was the extent of my memory. So, very basic synopsis, I'm sure you've all seen this. This follows a couple who their daughter accidentally drowns on the land of their big English estate. They're obviously, the film's mostly dealing with grief and the effect of grief on a relationship, and that's what we're mostly getting into with this one. They decide to go to Venice to live for a while because the husband has been offered to work on a big church. He's been offered a commission, and they decide to take it to get a change of scenery, to try and rebuild the relationship. Their son, this really bugged me. They've just lost their daughter and they pack their son off to a boarding school so they can swan off to Venice together. So yeah, that didn't strike me as something that a couple that had just lost a child would do, send the other child away while they go make merry in Venice. But anyway, so they go to Venice, and while they're there they encounter a pair of sisters, one of which is blind but claims to be psychic. She claims that she sees the couple's daughter, Christy, and she is around them and she is happy and she is at peace. But she also informs them that the husband is in danger. He's very sceptical. The wife, she gets a real sense of contentment from being told that they've seen her daughter and she's at peace. She begins to start to get over things, and although her husband is completely cynical about the whole thing, he is very pleased to see her change in, being a little bit more positive. Cue the most cringe-worthy love scene you've ever seen in your life. When this film hit the Irish Board of Classification blah blah blah, they actually took the love scene out because they thought it was too graphic, and something funny about that love scene is this is the first scene that Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie had. Is it Julie Christie? Yeah, that they had to film together. They had never met, and their first day on set, that was the scene they had to do because the director wanted to get it over with. They started at 7 o'clock in the morning and the shoot didn't finish until the afternoon, with the director the whole time shouting out instructions. I'm going to give you two that I read. Put your hand between her legs, lick her nipples. Really? Can you imagine you've just met this person? Kudos, props to you guys. Donald Sutherland, Julie Christie, props to you guys, honest to God. But it didn't translate as, it just was really cringy to watch. It was horrid. Maybe that's just me. I just wasn't a fan at all. It was as bad, for those of you in the UK, it was as bad when we saw Deirdre from Coronation Street having a French kiss. Oh, Jesus. I don't watch Coronation Street, don't get me wrong, but my mum does and my grandmother did. I've caught some of it, even though I haven't wanted to, and nobody wants to watch Deirdre Barlow French kissing anyone. Oh. So, the movie then sort of follows, the husband sees this little figure everywhere in Venice with a little red mac on, like his daughter was wearing when she drowned. The whole first half of the movie and when the daughter drowns, it's very well acted. It's very, you really feel it, especially as a parent, and you know, the complete and utter despair that you would feel in that situation, which is why I find it really weird that they put their son off to a boarding school. But the husband begins to wonder, am I seeing these things? Is this real? Is this my daughter? He thinks he's actually seen his daughter, and he like chases this little red figured thing all over Venice. The sisters sort of warn everything isn't as it seems, or you're in danger, blah blah blah. Something happens to the son at the boarding school back in England. It's nothing major, and the wife flies back to be with him. And after that, the husband's character sees his wife all over Venice, or I think in a funeral like barge or something. I can't remember what you would call it. But it's like you're wondering, is the husband seeing things? Is this part of his grief, how he's processing things? Has the wife not gone back to England? Is she still there? Has she been kidnapped by these two freaky sisters? And basically the end of the movie answers all those questions for you, which obviously I'm not going to tell you. I'm sure you've all seen Don't Look Now. If you haven't, check it out. It's one of those pieces of cinema you have to really see. I'm not going to say it's the best movie I've ever seen, but it's just one of those movies you need to watch. I did enjoy it. I don't think it deserves the positions and listings that it has. It was actually voted #1 Time Out Best British Movie. It was also voted really high on, what else? I've written it down. It's Tim Curry's favourite horror movie. Originally, they wanted Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood, who's Robert Wagner's real life partner. They wanted them for the role. And this was released in the UK originally as a double feature with The Wicker Man. I much prefer The Wicker Man to this one, I have to say. Yeah, so I think that's all I've written down about it. I enjoyed it. I understand why a lot of people love it, but I wouldn't say I love this one. I would probably score this one a 6 out of 10. I did enjoy yesterday's The Pet more than this. That's probably sacrilege to a lot of people because I know this is a classic. And The Brood I didn't score very high because I didn't enjoy it, and that's a classic. Maybe I'm not a fan of old classic movies, but that's not true because there's a lot of them that I love. I like this. I did like this, but I didn't love it. I felt that the first half of the movie was stronger than the second, but most stuff happened in the second, so you would expect it to be better than the first half. I suppose I identified and related a lot to how you would feel as a parent losing your child, you know, akin to Pet Sematary, which I have to watch again also before the new one comes out. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I would recommend you see it if you haven't, just so you have that piece of cinematic history there. And yeah, a little list as always of my compadres. I'm still completing this, they're still slogging away. Dave Maggot is doing an incredible job every day. He's got different guest appearances. Please check out those. Some of them are, actually all of them are really good, and I've been so totally impressed by the acting skills of a lot of his mates. Well, I know them all too. We've got Sean Ersham, we've got Jen from Jen's Reviews from the Grave, and Christian's in that one too. We've got Ben from Cadaver Club. I hate Jason from Horrific Nightmares, who I didn't even know it was him right at the end. He's just done such an incredible job, and I'm loving it. So check out those, Dave Maggot. I'll put a link below to his channel for you to check them out, and there also may be a little person you may know coming up at some stage in his reviews in the future, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. So yeah, this, as I said, is my last requested movie review for the month from Trashed Picture Show. The rest are all mine. I haven't put in ones that I think are great. I've just put in ones from a list. I have a watch list of things I want to see. Some of them may be terrible. So I will tell you what's tomorrow's movie. Tomorrow's movie is Otis. This one I put in because I heard, I think it was Gabby Hernandez talking about this one. So I've put it in because Gabby talked about it, so if I don't like it, it's Gabby's fault. The rest of them I've got, I'll just give you the rest while I'm here. Then it's Dead Alive or Brain Dead. We Are the Flesh, which I'm fully expecting to be terrible. Sinister Cinema Review said it was just a really weird, and I don't think in a good way, movie, and Dave Maggot said much the same. I think it's a bit pornographic and gross, just. Frontiers, the French one, next. I think I've seen that and I think I love it. Sadako versus Kayako, which I love The Ring and I love The Grudge. I didn't know this existed till Movie Massacre told me. So that one's for the 30th. And the last one for the 31st is a Japanese movie called Tag. I haven't written the actual Japanese name down there, but there's one particular scene from that movie that I've seen in the trailer, or I've seen somewhere, one scene, and it's like, wow. If you've seen the movie, you'll know the scene I'm talking about, and I'm desperate to see this. I'm a big fan of Asian cinema. I think they just have a way, they have an eeriness and creepiness that they manage to put into their movies that we just cannot replicate. I will stop waffling. Thank you to anyone that has been with me through this and has watched the videos. I'm aware it's a big undertaking. It's not something I will do again, purely because I think so many people do it. We don't really keep the quality of our channels and all this. It's great for some people, but it's something that I did once and it's something I will not repeat. Yeah, I just much prefer doing videos at my own leisure, maybe one a week to say what I've watched, and it's not that real stress and pressure. But I am one of these people, if I say I'm going to do something, I'll kill myself to do it. I just don't like to be beaten with stuff, and I refuse to be beaten by this. Even if no one watches these, don't care. I refuse to be beaten. I'm doing these 31 days if it kills me. And then there will be a little recline in my seat. I may even treat myself to some chocolate. Who knows? Right. Thank you for watching, and it's over and out for today from Lisa Loves.